Hi, this is your podcast host, Yolanda Lee George, coming by to introduce myself and my podcast. I am the owner of You'll Overcome Ministries. It is a self-help counseling ministry. I specialize in domestic violence and temperament. I also do different counseling as well. I am an ordained prophetess. I go to Victory Temple Outreach Ministries under the tutelage of Dr. Leticia McKinney. I am an author and a publisher. I am the wife of Deacon Lorenzo George. I have 5 children of my own and 3 bonus children. I have 10 grandchildren of my own and 2 bonus grandchildren. So I have a total of 8 children and 12 grandchildren, and to God be the glory. I am a survivor, a victor, over 10 and a half years of domestic violence, as well as the residue that extends past the 10 and a half years. I've been a victim of rape twice. I've contemplated suicide. I am a survivor of sex addiction, and so much more. So this podcast of Silent Screams No More, we will discuss silent screams. What is silent screams, you may say? Silent screams of life, silent screams from when you were a little girl, a little boy. Maybe you were molested. You never told anyone, or you told someone and they didn't listen. But it was silent screams. Maybe you were bullied. Maybe you were violated in other ways. But you didn't fuss. You held in silent screams. Maybe you had a mean teacher that said something that hurt you and you didn't tell anyone. Or you told someone and they didn't pay you any attention and you had silent screams. Maybe it was from a parent that was very mean, an aunt, an uncle, a sibling. Those are just some of the young silent screams. As a teenager in school, being promiscuous, feeling low, rejected, abandoned, and so many other things. But you didn't complain. You had silent screams. Silent screams of putting your face in the pillow and screaming and pulling yourself back together. Silent scream people are the so-called strong people. That's me. The strong one, the tough one, the one that nothing seems to bother. No, those are back burners, but we'll talk about that soon. I just stopped by to introduce to you this podcast of Silent Screams. I will be coming back on, and I'll be talking about one of my books called Unmasking the Secret Sins Within, where some of our silent screams are laying dormant. I talk about silent screams, and I'm not sure, I think I may have said I am a survivor of domestic violence over 10 and a half years. I talk about silent screams because I had silent screams from a child being verbally abused. And God has commissioned me to be the voice, the bridge for other men and women that have silent screams. Not that I've accomplished all of my silent screams, and not that I've arrived, but I thank God for using me as a vessel to open my mouth without fear, and some days doing it afraid, to help you release your silent screams. With me, our conversations will be real, they will be raw, and they will be relevant. I would say that these conversations are not geared to children. And it's not that you will hear cursing and vulgarness and all kinds of stuff, but you will hear reality, because Christians go through reality. And before we became Christians, we went through life. And some people are still battling life, even as Christians, because being a Christian doesn't negate us from going through life. So you will get real, raw, and relevant as you go through the Silent Screams. You will get more from my YouTube channel. So if you would breeze over there and look for me under Prophetess Yolanda Lee George and like, share, subscribe, as well as here, like, share, subscribe to those who you think would be interested in hanging out with me, because there will be times I do lives. My ministry is called You'll Overcome Ministries, and it's not just geared to domestic violence, but that is what I specialize in. But you'll overcome life. You'll overcome abuse. You'll overcome sex addiction. You'll overcome drug addiction. You'll overcome the loss of a child. I didn't say you'll forget and it'll vanish away, but it will be your testimony to build you up. Don't hide behind your testimony. Come forth. Don't hide. So on my YouTube channel, you will get me interviewing different people. My niece will come on and we'll talk about her going through finding out she has lupus and still having to go through everything she's going through. It's not that she will overcome the lupus, but she will overcome the fear. She will overcome not being able to talk about it. So please understand, when I say you'll overcome, it doesn't mean that you will overcome your lupus, but you will overcome being timid and the fear of opening your mouth. I desire to have this platform to be a place where people can release, that people who's lost their voices for whatever reason in life can have a voice. So I'll be back. This is my introduction. So on here, 9 times out of 10, nothing will be scripted unless I'm taking notes for a reason. But you will always get the rare form of me. So you may get some no's, some ain'ts, some is, and some broken English. I am not here through the hurt and pains of life to be politically correct. I will leave that to someone else. But when people are in pain, no matter where they are, I don't care if they're in the church, such as I was. When you're going through pain, you don't care about thus thou and wilt thou and, oh, she said ain't. When you going through hell and you trying to get pulled out, or you need a resting place, the last thing that you're concerned about is if someone's speaking the right language. And that is who I am. I am Yolanda Lee George, real, raw, and relevant. We are here to release the silent screams so we will be silent no more. I pray you will have a blessed day. Go ahead and subscribe so you'll know when I come back on, and have a blessed rest of your day.